Hey, Father Taylor here, and it's a really pretty Thursday, September 12th, and this is your weekly eBlast. So, lots of stuff going on at church, and want to kind of see if I can do it in chronological order. So, coming up Saturday at 2 o'clock, I'd like to invite you to hop in the car, drive 18 minutes down to Hartford, take the Capitol Avenue exit, just come right off the exit and go to the right. When you come to the end, you come up to a little turn right, and you follow that around right to Bushnell Park, right where the carousel is. Super easy to find. Once you come down, get a place to park somewhere, and then come on by 2 o'clock is when the service starts. The guys who bring lunches usually come a little earlier, and then I could get there maybe 15 minutes early if I can do it, and sit around and talk with people, just seeing the folks who's there, see what's going on in the park. And then we have a little service, and then you can help out with giving out lunches, kind of get to know some folks as you're doing it. It's a really helpful experience for it helps people, but I think it's really helpful for us. Gets us out of our little comfort zone in terms of like we generally don't do this all the time, but it's a great experience of ministry. And so I'd like to invite you to come down. So take one time, see what happens. You don't have to you have to make a commitment to it. So 2 o'clock. Then you're going to come back. The service is, I don't know, 20 minutes, and then we give away lunches. You get home by 3:10 maybe. 3:10. You get a glass of water. You kick back, watch some college football, and then 5 o'clock you come over to the church because at 5 o'clock we're having an outdoor concert with a barbecue. Because this is a church event, what churches do best, or what we should do best, really, as church people, as Christians, is we serve. So it's a concert we get to enjoy, but we also get to serve. I'm really hoping that we see, I don't know, 50 people who we don't know. I don't know how this has gone on how the advertising has gone in terms of Facebook and all the media we use, but hopefully we'll get some folks who come back, get some folks in town. It's actually also a Terriffill Village Association event. Anybody can come. Bring your chairs. Bring a chair. This is like the old days when you were either going to the soccer game, watch your kids, or sit in the church during COVID. So you bring out your chair. We have some really not. We didn't used to have nice lawn chairs, but now we got some cool ones that came during the time of COVID. So I sit in them every day, as a matter of fact. So anyway, so come on down, 5 o'clock. We do need a little bit of help. It would be helpful to have some people help us just carry a couple tables. It's not a lot, just a couple of tables to get them down, help get set up. So come a little early. We do need one more grill. We're using the grill that we keep up here at the rectory, but to have two grills would be a lot nicer. So if you got a grill, we've got some guys with pickup trucks. If you could just figure out how to get your grill here, or call me and I'll hook you up with a pickup truck. We'll bring your grill down here. That way we have lots of people. It just makes it a lot easier. We have a few jobs. All those things are listed in the text that's below this link. So we have all the details you need. Hopefully we have great weather. And the sun's going down a little earlier. So it's like 5 to 7, I think. And who knows? I might even play. If you've never heard me play, you might say, well, this might be worth coming out on a Saturday for, who knows? Anyway, so 5 to 7, that's our last luau event. We do need some help. Then the next day, Sunday, it would be a great day to worship the Lord. 8 o'clock, we have the 8 o'clock service, but the 9:15, following the 9:15 service, I want to invite you to come to our What is a Member class. Now you might say, I became a member here back in 1916, so I should know all there is to be a member. Maybe you do, but maybe you didn't go through this class because we do 3 topics. What is a Christian? When we're a Trinity and we're talking about being a Christian, what do we mean by that? So what is a Christian? The second one is, what is an Episcopalian? What does it mean when you become an Episcopalian? What's the identity? What's your history? What's different about being an Episcopalian than being a Presbyterian or a Pentecostal or a Roman Catholic? What's unique about being an Episcopalian? So we'll let you know about that on the week 2. The third week, I believe that's the jump where we're going to have our parish meeting. But the week after that, we're right back in for what is a member? What is it we're really trying to help members become? What's the benefit, the real benefit of being a member here? What is it? What does it mean to be a member? So those three topics, I'd like to invite you. Maybe you have a friend who says, yeah, I thought about coming to your church. Bring them on this Sunday and say, come on upstairs. We got a breakfast for you and got some things to eat and stuff. You can meet some people. And for about an hour 15, we're going to talk about how does our church understand some of these things? What does it mean to be a Christian? Great inviting reason. And by inviting, you may be doing the very work that God has called us to do. So that's coming up. Then we have that all parish meeting, which is that week in September. I just want to make sure, I'm going to take a look at this just to make sure I don't blow this. But that is coming up on September 29. So September 29 is the time for our parish meeting. That'll be held also after the 9:15 service. And during that period of time, we will have one last go round of talking about the disposition of 18 Maple Street. To that degree, we have included once again in the eBlast a text of the narrative, which begins in 2019, that after the time that Steve Parker and Dave Damaris did a walkthrough and took pictures of the house and came back and had some pretty important things to say to us about the disposition of the house. So we've been working, particularly the last 2 years after COVID, we've just really been jamming on what are we going to do, trying to make that decision. Wrote the initial narrative, and but we've continued as a vestry to ask more and more questions, listen to people, try to get into make sure we get every angle taken care of so we know what is the best idea about the house. We know this, that we cannot continue without the investment of about $100,000 to $150,000. We cannot turn that house back into an asset that we don't have to worry about. What I mean by that is we designated back in 2019 that if anything happened, the boiler went, heat problem, big leak, tree fell on the roof again, because that happened before. If any of that happened, we would be putting money into a house that is now we don't have the money to maintain. So that's what's behind all this. So 29th after the meeting, I'm sure there's food. I don't think we do any kind of meeting without food, but I'm asking you to ask your questions. I have included an addendum to the first narrative, just some bullet points of things we've done since that first narrative came out, which you should take a look at. It answers a lot of questions. So I want you to take a look at that. And then on the 29th, we have the meeting, but you can ask all your questions, get into discussions now so that when we get to the meeting, we pretty much can start to figure out how we want to vote, how we want to determine the property. Just a reminder is that parish decisions do not have to be unanimous. People can have all kinds of different opinions. I would think we try to manage kind of being most important about our decisions is the unanimity and the building up of our community. So if you had like one vote more that Sunlight was a majority, that might be true. That might say that like we actually made the decision. But in a community, you don't want a split community. You don't want a divided community. So that's why we're trying to get this information out and get you all the information you need ahead of time so we can discuss it. Okay, great. So that's so we've talked about Saturday, and now we got Sunday, and now we're talking about moving ahead to the 29th. We have our studies are getting ready to do. And I have one last piece, and that is Wednesday nights. We had a group for a couple of years called the Mission Group, where people kind of focused on how can we do practices that make us more alert to God speaking to us, leading us in any given day, and helping us to be more effective in serving his mission. That group has now kind of become like a fellowship group. It's still got a similar focus, but anybody can come to that. That's alternate Wednesday nights. We start early, 6 o'clock. And then we are done by 7:30. So that's a great group. If you want to find it, if you want to learn how to do some Bible study, if you want to learn prayer, if you want to get to know people, so you can actually deepen your fellowship and get support. What a great thing! I want to invite you to come. So I'll let you know in a bit when the next meeting is. We just had a meeting last night where we went over these factors with the group, but I wanted to be able to put that out there for you too. We had a great blessing of our kids last Sunday. We had a great group of them be able to come. So continue to pray for our families with kids. The pressures on families with kids probably is more now than it was even when we thought there's a lot of pressure on us when we raised our kids. So we're doing for that. We're doing some support with the Towerfield School. We're always looking for ways to minister to our neighbors in Simsbury and in the Farmington Valley and Granby. We're still connected with our friends in Nigeria where we minister. So we have a lot going on. So God bless you. Look forward to you seeing this weekend. Hope to see you Saturday. If I play and I choke, please don't boo me. I'm very sensitive. So anyway, I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, come on out Saturday. See you down at the park. See you out here in the parking lot. Bring your chairs. God bless you. Bring some friends. So thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.